hell come back.
Emphasis on the hell come back.
Yes.
Exactly.
The hell come back.
Well, no.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Welcome back, friends.
Frenzies, what is up?
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back, baby?
Guess who's back?
I'm back.
Back again. No, I mostly am back.
No, I'm back.
Which one of you is Shady? Shady's back, tell them.
Yellow shirt.
Oh, yeah.
He's here.
Blonde
Down
hair,
path?
shaved piercings.
It's just which one of you is a better rapper?
Most.
Yeah.
Oh, totally me.
Ooh, probably
1000% me.
Dallas.
Okay.
Well, it
Who,
depends.
who comes up with random songs all the times about random topics?
They're not raps, though.
They are
If you put on Usher or a little bit of Akon, okay, all right. I'm
Bring
your
it
gal.
back. Okay, I love it. I love it. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm Whitney.
And I'm Joe.
I'm Noelle.
I'm Dallas.
He just
right.
stuffed his face with candy.
The Yar Bros are back at it again.
Yes, we're having them guests. And guys, we just can't express enough how much we love having you guys on. Thanks for coming.
It's just our honor every single time.
This may or may not have got me through this week, so looking forward to it.
It did.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh, we're going.
We
We're
don't
going.
need a babysitter. We'll
Yeah.
leave the kids.
Posey
We're
will
coming.
watch the boys. They'll be fine.
Or eat them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Guys, did you see Sean from The Bachelor? Their dog, which was a bulldog, attacked him.
That was wild.
Insane. That was the video I wanted to show you.
Tell me more.
And you didn't send this to me?
I didn't
The
look
one
into
time
it.
you were
I
ahead
know.
of pop culture before
I know.
me? Wow.
I know.
Guys,
Sorry.
crazy. We'll watch the video later. We'll watch it. What is it called? Screenplay?
Yeah.
No, but he got stitched all up on his arm, went to the ER, got it all stitched. Well, guess what? He came back home and the wife, or something happened with the doors, accidentally let the dog back out again hours later. And this bulldog beelined for Sean again.
No.
And the wife was screaming, and he just got back from the ER, getting his whole arm stitched up. The dog went for the other arm, because of course he's gonna use the other one.
Yeah.
And this dude got destroyed by this dog again for the second time hours later. And he was literally laying on top of the bulldog until cops could come forever. And Sean's like 220 pounds, and he had a full on lay. I'll show you the footage. He is like, his whole entire weight
saw the picture.
is on this dog.
What kind of bulldog is this?
It was a rescue. And what happened was basically they believe that Sean had friends over and they were doing like a barbecue and things like that. And he was outside and something happened inside where the smoke alarm went off. And they believe that the alarm is what triggered the bulldog and scared him. And then he attacked Sean due to the alarm. That's what he's saying. But before that, like literally hours before that, I believe he was posting stories of his dog like licking and kissing him and like loving him.
Then just slowly nibbling his face away.
Trying to murder him.
That's
Yes.
freaking
Hours
sad
later.
because that
And he
dog's
has
gone
kids.
now.
Oh yeah, it's gone. And they had little kids. They have a lot of little kids, but those kids thankfully weren't home.
I'm so glad.
But they were home and they were outside with Sean at the second attack. And so everyone was screaming, telling the kids to get in the car. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's terrible.
I knew it.
What's up?
I knew it.
What's up, my bro?
I had to Google it
What?
to help you.
Oh.
It was not a freaking bulldog.
Oh, what was it?
Chihuahua.
And that was a boxer.
Oh, that's... Oh,
Which
I'm
makes
so
more
sorry.
sense. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
When you say bulldog, I'm thinking,
like
okay,
so slow.
English? Yeah.
On their 4-inch legs.
English or French, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are the type that want to fight.
We gotta start this whole thing over.
No.
I know. There's no going back. There's no going back. That's so embarrassing.
And that is the fake story for this week.
That's
Like, guys, it
awesome.
was a wiener dog. It kicked his ass. Like, it was crazy.
Straight out. He was bleeding out. Trying to wrestle this wiener dog.
And they were
man.
rolling like this. Like, it was like an alligator.
He couldn't control him. It was insane.
Dude, I was crying watching the video. It was crazy. Anyways, we'll have to watch it later after this, but absolutely insane. What were we talking about before that?
how my dog was watching the boys. So he can be here tonight.
Let's pray Posey. Posey does nothing, which she won't. She's a saint. All she can do is lick.
Yeah, she'll just lick the skin right off your bones.
Oh, but don't test her. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't test her. Don't.
She will.
She will lick the
protect-
bones off of your face and chase after the cats and won't
She
even know
did
what to do
protect
with it.
Davy. We had her attached to Davy's tricycle, and so she just kind of walks along and pulls him along.
Cute.
And there's a neighbor dog who comes out, and because she was attached to Davy, this dog will always bark at her. She never barks back. She'll just keep walking, but she was attached to Davy, so she barked back at him.
Yeah.
I was like, don't come at me or my boy.
I got my Davy.
Yeah. I got my boy on the back of me. Don't even test me. So
Oh, that's
she's
so
a sweet
great.
girl, but our
And
friends
she's
are
a
watching.
pit bull, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pocket pit bull. She's
Yeah,
like,
she's a
so
pit. She's
freaking cute. Her
not even
coloring
medium.
is so beautiful.
She's a cute girl.
She's so
She's driving us
Maybe we
crazy.
need a guest appearance.
of little
Of Posey.
Yes,
action.
100%, dude.
We'll film an episode. We'll film an episode when we go camping or something.
Oh
1000%
yes.
we're doing that, guys.
Pose Malone,
Yeah,
welcome to the
100%.
pod.
Oh, I love it. She's so cute. Well, speaking of cute, just kidding. That was a terrible transition, but
Speaking of cute,
our episode last
your mom.
week. My mom is so cute, and she will be here
Shout out.
next week. So stay tuned. Anyways, we had some crazy stories last week. Episode was
The dumbest hill to die on.
yes. Thank you, Joseph. And just a little quick recap, y'all.
Yep.
First story was one of mine. Am I the asshole for locking my cousin out of my house? Story number 2. Am I the asshole for keeping no contact with my sister after her husband, my ex, died? And then, Joe, what were your stories?
Dumbest hill to die on ever. Am I the asshole for not letting a neighbor borrow my tile saw because he assumed it belonged to my boyfriend?
Oh.
The story about the girl, OP was offended because the neighbor came over wanting to borrow a tool and he just assumed that it was her boyfriend's, not hers.
Yeah. So she was like bugged by that. Like, why do you think it's his?
obviously.
These are mine. And no, you can't borrow it.
Yeah, we gotta be spiteful now.
Yep.
Not gonna be able to do.
He's like, whoa, bro, chill. Like, I'm sorry.
The last one was, am I the asshole for telling my mom her tractor parking rules make no sense and refusing to move it?
Oh, yeah. That one was so funny.
That one had me dying when I was riding it.
Oh.
Yeah. This, you know what? Spoiler alert. You guys haven't heard the episode because it hasn't aired yet, which is fine. But so you're gonna be the fake is gonna be spoiled for you. Sorry about
That's
it.
okay. I'll be okay.
I'll still be on the edge of my seat.
I have to say,
Yes.
yeah, and you can attest to this. When I was writing the story, I was dying
He
laughing.
was laughing so hard.
Like I couldn't stop. I was dying because it was so stupid. Like I had the concept come to my head, and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. And I like Reddit is mostly like educated people,
yeah.
and I wanted it to write the story like it was somebody that was like a hillbilly.
Yeah.
So I was just refining the prompt, and anyways, oh, that's what you have to look forward to.
You did good. You did
I'm
good.
excited to hear
you.
it.
Yes.
I don't know if everyone is gonna know right away that it was fake.
Mm-hmm.
They might, but it was.
I don't
such
think
a fun
so.
Story. It was fun.
However, this is what I've been looking forward to all week, is telling you guys what the theme of this week's episode is.
I'm so excited.
And-
I thought about it all week. I have no idea, but I can't wait.
What are they going to come up with this week? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that?
I don't think you guessed it. I'll tell you that much.
Tell me.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna shock you.
I think you might poop your pants.
Is your diaper on? Did you wear your pull-ups?
Today, but I can make an exception.
So that's that smell. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so sorry.
It's okay.
The theme is the lies my parents told me.
I love this.
Oh, heck yeah.
Talk today, baby.
Oh, I'm a parent. I talk.
And I lie.
Oh, sweet.
Man.
I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to hear about it.
All right, who's gonna go first this week? Because
Ooh.
I have to just plug my own story.
Yeah.
First one, she's long.
She's long. Oh, I get it. The story's long. Not like the character is long.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant because she's a girl and you can't like, what's long about her, you know?
My kid calls me long. He's like, Mom, you look so long.
That's
Hair.
actually like such a compliment.
Hair.
What does that mean?
Her hair, you're right.
But
But
he
hair
just-
could be long.
He just says,
yeah.
my beard hair?
No. Bless you.
Bless your soul.
Excuse me.
Well,
Pardon the
so sorry.
interruption. That sneeze was long.
Yeah.
So sorry. Okay, keep going.
Does you need an allergy medicine?
Yeah.
She needs more than that.
I need a lot of things. It's okay. I'll be okay.
Do you need a spanking? Whoa.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
That was out of line.
You better
That
delete
was-
that. Teresa's gonna get pissed.
That was not out of line. That was behind the line.
That was behind the scenes.
Oh my
Could be.
gosh. You guys.
You guys need to chill the frick out, honestly.
If you pooped your pants, I will not give you a spanking.
Well, then we'll put that on the back burner. We'll save that one for next time then, I guess.
Fair. So I think you should start with the long story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one comes from Best of Redditor Updates, which, if you ever just are like trying to burn time on Reddit, okay,
Is this
there's
the
some
one?
rabbit holes. Best of Redditor Updates. So it's all the stories where there's an update. So they're the stories and the gifts that just keep on giving. This one is one of those. So worth noting, this story was originally posted in Entitled Parents and Insane Parents. So it's on Best of Redditor Updates because, yeah, the whole thing. So the title is, My Parents Are Stalking Me Because God Told Them to.
I love it when God's involved with it.
And he never is.
Tells you to.
This one's good. God is like, he is with the dad this time, you guys. Oh.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
We're talking lowercase g too. I
Yeah.
should say, like, this is not the one I know.
Yeah.
G
Okay.
double D?
No. Tell us.
Hi, I'm a 24F and I live on my own out of my parents' house. I have a bit of a situationship going on with my friend. We'll call him David. He's also 24M.
Okay.
We had a fling a few months ago, and now it's kind of happening again. It started out just hanging out and enjoying David's company, then it slowly turned into more again. The thing is, my parents knew about the first fling. David used to be inseparable from my dad. They were like father and son in a way, until David and I had our fling. Now my dad is trying to control him. Telling him he is to have no contact with me outside of a group chat we are all in. We both think this is stupid. Naturally,
She's 24.
24.
Not living
Group
out
chat
home.
with the mom and dad and her situation. Okay.
And I just have to add this, like, we don't get very much more context as to why David is close with the dad.
Okay.
So don't look for it. Don't expect it. It doesn't come.
Okay.
Which bothered me, but it's fine. A few weeks ago, we were hanging out and we went to Five Below to get snacks and just hang out. While we were there, my parents walked in. They don't live in the same city as me. I live about 20 minutes away from them, and they just randomly showed up at the store right by my house. They claimed it was to find batteries, and at that point, my dad confronted David and said that he told him not to be around me, and he told me he isn't going to care anymore and not to go crying to him when I get heartbroken.
Oh.
So it's like, dad lost his bestie kind of thing. That's what I thought.
Okay.
My mom texted me later saying it was totally the Holy Spirit revealing that something was happening so that they could intervene. I'm kind of glad that happened because after David and I left, that opened up a conversation about what's going on between us. We both enjoy our company and we both have feelings for each other, but we're taking it slow. While we were talking, my dad is texting me 3-page essays on why I'm stupid for not doing as he says and that he is no longer invested. He told me David only wants me for one thing and doesn't care about me as much as he does. And that if David is in love with me, he'd ask him for permission to date his daughter and play by his rules. David told me he does really care about me and that it's a lie that he doesn't. Just tender. Anyways, we decided to continue hanging out, especially since my dad said he no longer cares. We both have annual passes to Disneyland, so we decided to go together after work. While we were there, my mom and dad texted me asking if I was at Disneyland. I ignored their texts. We were there till closing, and as we were walking out, my dad walked up to us with a Starbucks bag and asked to talk.
No.
Nope.
David kept walking and said no, and of course me wanting to keep the peace begged David to, and he said no, so she's begging him to stop. I told him I'm his ride, and he said he'd just get an Uber, and I told him no, so I just left my parents there and left. I cried in the car, and David told me it's not my fault. While I was in the car, I texted my mom how she knew I was there, and she said, God is watching. And I asked again how she knew, and she said she'd meet me at my house and tell me, and I said no. You will not meet me at my house. That's weird, Mom. How did you know I was at Disneyland? She stopped messaging me, and then my dad messaged me this. And it's in quotations. And so it says, if you want to know how we knew you were there, you can talk to us in person. We brought peace, and we tried to be loving, even though I knew David was doing stuff that he said he wouldn't do. I just want him to care for you as much as I do, and your mother does. But you're going to find out, honey, and it's really sad. He had every opportunity right there to confess his love for you and to ask us for space. We could have had a good discussion, but instead he was a coward and ran away. From here on out, you are not to come to my home. We can meet in public to talk about how we knew you were at Disneyland because we had every intention of telling you, and that was going to be a part of the conversation. I've never lied to you, and I never will. I do not have anything to hide.
That's sketch.
Except how
That
we
is-
knew that. Okay. All right.
Oh,
All right.
you guys, this is like the tip of the
First
of the bird.
sentence of a 12-page book.
Literally.
It's good. You just wait.
Ooh.
That conversation could have been great, and we're still willing to have it, but David sadly is not. I did nothing to him to deserve the treatment that we got from him, and I've never treated him any way other than I would treat a good son. I hope and pray that he doesn't do what I know he's going to do. Wolves come into the sheep, and they separate the sheep from the flock, and then they devour the sheep. But the good shepherd will protect you, and if David ever was a sheep, he will listen to the voice of God, the people that loved him and cherished him. I love you, and I wish nothing but the best for you. If you want to talk, we are willing to talk to you about anything you want to know. So that was obviously Dad's message to her. And she says, I responded with, Dad, I don't expect him to be in love with me. That's way too soon. And if you don't want to hide the truth, just explain how you knew I was there. I will not be meeting in person for a conversation that can be had over text. He then responded with, then don't meet with me. That's how it's going to come out because you need to see my demeanor and everything. And shame on you guys for trying to point the finger back at us. You guys are the ones that are not doing right and hiding. Literally every box that was checked for you to like David was erased by David. All the things that you liked about him are now gone, and it was by David's own hand. From now on, do whatever you want. I'm cutting this pain off. I mean it.
Cut her. Oh.
Don't come by my house because we will not be able to support your drama any longer. You're going to have to learn the hard way again. The only difference is now your mother and I are numb and we don't feel anything. God will show the truth, but I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt in the process.
Oh.
Yeah. The biggest eye roll.
So here's the thing. OP in this story and both of the, like where she posted both of these, she posted screenshots of the whole conversation.
Thank you. Love
So
that.
you literally can go back and you can look at everything that the whole thing. She has the whole thing outlined.
Wow.
So that's just for context. For anybody that wants to follow along, feel free.
Yep.
And so after that, she says, I don't care if I don't meet with them or not. I can't handle the helicopter parenting anymore. And I feel that anytime I've ever brought a boy around, my dad has to place himself in the middle, forcing the guy out. The guys that have been okay with it in the past end up not working out because of my fear that if my dad can control him, now my whole future will still be controlled by him. Which, valid. If I don't do it their way, then I'm doing it wrong. I really like David and he likes me. I'm 24 years old and for once I have a guy that doesn't run away from me because of my crazily super involved parents. I don't know what to do. What I'm concerned about is how my parents followed me there and why. I just don't know what to do. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Thank you for reading as much as you did, and please any suggestions would help because I feel alone right now. So
Well,
that's
I bet
post
she
number
could call
one.
her parents and she wouldn't be alone, but I'm sure they already know exactly where she...
Yeah, don't worry, dude. Open your closet. Dad's in there.
Ew.
Dad's creating the drama.
He is pure drama. This is where religion sometimes just has such a... It's just sad to see the negative effects it can have on someone if they are not
Well,
well. Yes. Like, so I think with David, okay, so David and Daddy and David, they obviously had Daddy David. I'm sure they had they obviously had a relationship.
A fling.
A fling, yeah. They were hooking up, for sure.
Absolutely.
This reminds me of, you know, the movie with, what's his freaking name? So it's Ryan Gosling. I knew his name.
Oh,
and
yes. Crazy Stupid Love.
yes, like
Yeah.
it kind of gives me
Stupid.
those vibes a
Yeah.
little bit of,
They're all connected.
yes. And he knows how much of this player David is. And then he finds out that, like, my freaking daughter is
Yeah.
dating him. Like,
Yeah.
no. So, I don't know.
I'm like, does Dad know something? Some deep secret?
Well, it's like,
He knows.
yeah, did they make an inappropriate trip somewhere together? That's where my mind went. It was like,
it's the.
do you like really know that this guy is like not a good guy? And
Yeah.
how?
Okay, what's the update?
Oh, are you guys ready for it yet?
I mean, I have guessed what I could.
So here's a couple of the good comments. First commenter, check your car for a tracking device. If they have keys to your place, change the locks. There's something very wrong with them. This level of stalking and harassment is concerning. Adding in to the religious aspect of it, they sound unhinged.
Yeah, it's creepy.
To say the least.
Unhinged is the best word for these psychotic freaks.
Mm-hmm.
This all happened so this is OP responding. This all happened last night, so I'm going to be spending the day looking for anything like that. They don't have any keys to my place, thankfully. Somebody else said, are you 100% absolutely positively sure that they don't have keys to your house? Was there any opportunity for them to get keys long enough to have a copy made? I would change the locks as a precaution. People are like, something here is not right. They're not just naturally knowing where you're at. Sorry, like,
Yeah.
even if you are a deeply spiritual, deeply religious person, you don't get flashing lights that are like, your daughter's at Disneyland with the guy that you're concerned about.
Well,
Like,
not only that, but like, we went to Five Below to like find batteries 20 minutes away from like any other store. Like,
There's no way.
like that's too many coincidences. Like,
way too many.
yeah.
Mom and Dad, you guys are dumb. Okay, pause. Let me find the right thing because it's all in one thread. So here's the first edit that came on OP's post. So this happened the same day. Thank you everyone who gave advice and suggestions. I decided I'm going to let myself settle for a few days. I'm going to agree to hear my parents out just to know how they got my location. As controlling as they are, I still love them, and I can say with certainty they have always been honest. My dad said he will tell me how they found out I was there in person. I'm going to give myself a few days to get my own nerves and emotions down. I'll post an update when that happens. Honestly, thank you everyone. It's nice to see I'm not crazy. I'm not a terrible person. It's reassuring to see that this isn't normal behavior, and I can't thank you all enough for that. It gave me a bit of peace of mind, to be honest. Thank you all for giving advice to a no-name person on Reddit who writes like they're having a stroke. Sorry, I added the last part.
Oh. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Edit 2. I texted my dad and told him I'd be willing to talk within the next few days. He then told me I need to find a new phone provider. This is the last bill I have connected with my folks. They pay for it in their account. I just pay them back for my line every month. No one does that. I think that cancels out them tracking me via phone provider, especially now since this is another attempt to control by using fear of cutting off a service I can very easily get on my own. I looked for any air tags. I couldn't find anything. He still refuses to tell me how he tracked me unless I meet with him, my mother, and our pastor. Unless I meet with him, my mother, and our pastor at our church.
That is so manipulative.
Like,
Is he like a police officer or something?
he sounds like it, right?
He's got to be Liam Neeson from Taken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he's got to have like
I will find
a
you.
connection somewhere.
And I will kill you.
Like if he's not an officer, like a buddy of his has to be an officer, like who knows this guy or like something like that. If he's going through these links, that's just
That's so
weird.
sketchy.
Little bit odd behavior, to say the least.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
OP clarifies, I've known this church for 16 years. My pastor has stuck up for me when I needed him. He stuck up for me when I was being physically abused and brought that to a stop. My dad is the uber religious person. My pastor has always put him in his place. Just to clarify that aspect a bit more, it's people I trust to look out for my well-being.
Abused by
The
who?
dad physically abused her.
Okay, so update. Same post. Yeah, no, because
What just happened?
there's more.
Okay.
Update to the same post, so it's late the very next day.
Okay.
She didn't give herself days. She met with them the next day. Update. I met with them today. My pastor and his wife had my back 100%. My dad told me how they found me. I guess I was still sharing my location with him on my phone through messages.
Oh.
Wow.
Why isn't that the first place you look?
And that was, everyone is like, are you, what year
Did
is
you
it?
look with your eyes?
Did you, if you think somebody knows where you're at, you're like, oh, am I sharing my lokes?
Yeah. I'm doing that, and the next thing I'm doing is I'm checking the tracker on my car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One,
First, check my phone.
Yeah.
You guys know.
100%.
Shout out to Apple, because you can't have an Apple device traveling with you without it notifying you.
Right.
So that they did that update. So AirTags will not allow somebody to track you unless it's your AirTag.
I didn't know that.
But now you do. But yeah, other trackers, who knows? There's other GPS and stuff out
That's
there.
why it didn't work when I tried to stalk you.
All right, so here's Dad. He said God revealed that he still had my location. Thank you.
I cannot right now.
My parents then drove to my house to see if my car was there. They saw David's car there. We carpooled to Disney. Then they waited outside of Disneyland until we left. I told them that's freaking weird and that makes me uncomfortable. And they said they did it out of love because they were concerned.
But they're not sharing the concern, just that David's gonna do something.
No, we're not going to be there for you when David breaks your heart, and we're just generally concerned about you dating him.
And like, they're not banging in Disneyland. Like, everything's fine.
I don't know. Have you ever rode It's a Small World?
You guys would know. You guys did that.
We didn't ride It's a Small World, actually.
Or what's the poot ride that we always go on that's trippy?
Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got crazy in that ride? Fairly usual.
That's
You're gonna get kicked out if you announce that in public.
I've never done anything inappropriate at Disneyland.
Is there any one ride that lasts more than 2 minutes?
Yes.
Pirates.
You better be quick. Yeah,
Oh
Pirates.
yeah, Pirates is long.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is fun, by the way.
It was closed.
It was closed when we went, but I do love Indiana Jones. I know.
You know what's freaking sick? Dude,
Popcorn.
that was literally supporting my leftward love handle, and you just tugged it out.
The lower or the upper half?
the literally the whole kit and
It
caboodle.
was cupped in. Oh, it was nice and snug.
Yeah, it was
Sorry.
nice. It's like all that warmth and support just
It just flopped.
went right out.
Did it kind of jiggle when it dropped?
Obviously, that's what I was uncomfortable with. All right.
Keep going. Yes, I'm listening.
Basically, my pastor and his wife are 100% behind my back regarding dating, which is a weird way of saying have my back. Dating who I want, not letting my parents decide. I should have the opportunity to decide if I like the guy first, one-on-one, then bring him to meet my parents. It's a little different because we have all known David for years, but still I have the right to decide when my parents will be involved. My dad did not like this. He said he'd leave the church and then blocked me on all of his social medias. He said he can't stand around and wait for my heart to get broken, and the whole time he was trashing on David. He called me a few names that were extremely hurtful, and I was glad to see the pastor had my back. They told me I am no longer under his roof and I'm not doing anything wrong. The conversation ended with my dad claiming he wants to go no contact, which I'm sure he won't follow through on. It sucks. I love my parents, but in my dad's eyes, if he can't have control over this aspect, I don't get him at all. And that's probably how it's going to be for a while. Thank you guys.
Is he a 13-year-old girl? The dad?
Legitimately.
I feel like there's like daddy issues, but for the dad has daughter issues.
Dad has daddy issues and daughter issues of himself.
Yes.
Dad has issues.
Dad's
Dad's not okay.
fetched up. There's some really good stuff. I'm just going to recommend all the listeners go and find this on Best of Redditor Updates so you can read all the context. There's lots. But we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to read the last of the updates.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, is that okay with you?
He is scrolling down, y'all.
It's because the Best of Redditor Updates compiles everything. So it makes it really easy for you to get the full thing without having to navigate all around.
Got it.
But in this case,
We just need you, Joe.
so this is update post number 2. And let me just make sure, because this is a lengthy back and forth of text between the daddy and the daughter. Okay, update post 2. So this is 3 months later from the OG post. 3 months after. Well, I didn't think I'd be here again. If anyone saw my original post near like November, I think that has the whole context backstory to it. But long story short, the guy I was seeing, we decided to just be friends. And he is honestly my best friend. I was sad about it though, and I told my dad that me and him were done in that regard, and he actually acted like a dad and comforted me. It was nice. My dad,
Stop.
he's literally just having a freaking bodygasm, just rolling around. He will roll on the ground and like run his body into the couch while he's just anyway. Yeah, his feet are in the air. He's pretending he's dead. It's cool.
I do that sometimes.
Me too.
So my dad slowly came back into contact with me, and him slowly came back into contact with me and him, and things felt like they were going back to normal. Until I got a text from my friend telling me my dad was blowing up his phone saying he hated him for stealing his daughter's virginity, which is not what happened. I'm a 24-year-old female living completely independently with no help from my family. I mean, I don't need to tell my dad about my sex life. It isn't his business. I already lost my V card, but he doesn't need to know that. Again, not his business. I said something though because he kept accusing my friend of stealing it. So I texted my dad, and this was the text exchange. I am now completely no contact. That was his second chance, and after everything I've been through, he will not be getting another chance. I'm about to read the text conversation. So this is literally them going back and forth.
Oh no.
It is ugly. So the original poster, OOP, she says, and this is where it's weird because at some point they insert that the guy's name that they've been calling David, his real name is Daniel. And so he's just Daniel in the rest of this post because she forgot to edit it in one of the screenshots, and so everyone knew it was Daniel.
Of course, you call him David, but his real name's Daniel. It happens to everyone.
My friend didn't take my virginity. What the hell is wrong with you? I never told you I slept with him. I never told you I had any sex with him. All I said was it could lead to a pregnancy the way things were going. First of all, the way that she...
that to your dad?
Like, I'm sorry, OP, don't say that. Like,
That's weird.
Especially
not
when you know
know?
your parents are helicopter parents.
Yeah.
how do you not know the line of things not to say? She's like, we didn't have sex, but it could have led to pregnancy. Like, all I said was it could lead to a pregnancy the way things were going. I never once said I slept with him. Stop whatever crazy tirade you're doing because you hate him for taking my virginity when you don't even know. This is disrespectful to me that you are speaking like this about me. You are hurt. This is hurting my feelings a lot more, thinking my dad thinks that I'm a whore.
Oh, this is making me uncomfy.
This dad,
New text. And going off more on my friend is by no means going to help the situation. Ignore him and leave him alone. Imagine how my dad is now that while I'm at work, I randomly get a text that my dad thinks my friend stole my virginity. It makes me feel dirty that you are even speaking to somebody about my virginity. It is none of your concern, and it's between me and God. You don't know, nor will you ever know, who takes my virginity, like she's acting like it hasn't happened yet, or not, and that it is not for you to decide other than me when I am ready and married. You already... Oh.
Gosh.
New text. Talking to my friend about this stuff isn't going to make him magically want me. It's going to push him away even more from me. You need to literally stop and just vent your feelings somewhere else. I don't want to be in a position again where I'm choosing between people. Stop being like this. And now he responds. The conversation I'm having with him is between us. I'm only saying what hurt me and your mother, and we should be able to share that with your friend. This part is none of your business.
that is not
Bruh.
what he should.
He's an idiot.
Like, dude, are you not an adult? Wow, you caught that? That was sick. You threw that 4 inches above your mouth.
Wow.
How'd you do that?
You should show that at parties, Wit.
Please do like a slow-mo of you being like...
See what happened? Zoom in.
The podcasters are going to be confused. And if you cut this out of the YouTube, you're literally missing the best content. Better not.
Wow.
Podcasters, watch this YouTube.
You should show that at
All right.
parties, Wit.
Like it. What?
So, should we just hang out? Like shit. And this is story 1 of 3, so.
Gosh. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, that part is none of your business. If you don't like it, you don't have to be around me or your mom. Trying to make things right with the friend to restore everything, and that involves truth. Otherwise, I will go back right where we were, which is not having a relationship with you guys until you are ready to get right. You threatened me and your mom, acting like we were begging you to come back to church. That is not the truth. The truth is we were letting you guys cook. From your responses to me, clearly you are not done. The truth is we were letting you guys cook. From your responses to me, clearly you are not done. So I'm going to just leave you in the cooker. He didn't say that. I said that. If you want to run off and do what you want to do, go for it. It's going to be hurtful and painful out there. It's literally none of my concern at this point, and everything I said to the friend was supposed to be between him and I, and it was solely focused on how he hurt me and your mother and how to get back to where he was with us. Nothing to do with you. You're an idiot, brother. I only read your first text, and I will read the rest when I have time. So that's just an additional text that he sent to her. And then she says, do not discuss my virginity. He didn't take my virginity. I don't care what you think or assume. He didn't take my virginity, and don't claim that he did. Dad, do not tell me what to discuss. My assumption was he did take it, and that hurt me as a father, especially from him who I trusted. Believe it or not, I have my own feelings, and in order for me to get right with him, I have to express the feelings that I have. Don't tell me to stuff my feelings. I hate you.
Dad said I hate you to the daughter.
No, I keep adding my own thoughts at the end.
Damn it, Joe.
I think he should at this point. I think he's having too many feelings and he needs to just shut up.
Dude, somebody needs to tell him to like, bruh, no,
Focus
you're
on
done.
your marriage,
Talk
bro.
to a therapist if
Yeah.
you are so hurt
Bye.
that you have to go to the boy. And also she had no control over the situation. He can only talk to the friend and be like, well, you did this.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, naturally, you're my little friend that's the same age as my daughter, and I'm mad at you because you stole her virginity from her. Meanwhile, she's banged other dudes, and, like, this guy just happens to be someone that dated her.
I think Daniel David, whatever he is, the D, worked for the dad. I think there was something there where maybe he worked on their land or something. This is what I'm thinking.
I'm getting like the dad got somebody pregnant in high school, and like this is like a long lost son or something like that.
Oh, that
And, like,
would
he's-
be insane.
he's freaking
like,
out.
He's freaking out.
Yo, they would be siblings. Holy frick.
Yes, and that's why
Like,
he's
you
being
can't be
so crazy.
together.
Like, you're at Disneyland with your brother, actually, low key. That's crazy.
Like that's what I'm getting
That's
is
what
like
you're feeling.
yeah.
Because it's like, why do you care so much? Also, I thought another thing could be, and this is, I mean, everyone's probably thought this at one point. Maybe the dad has a crush on him. Maybe the dad fell in love with him.
Well, we are certainly covering our bases here.
But I like Dallas's way better.
Is he the son,
Well, I'm
or is it
thinking
his
of this
love
childish
interest?
game.
Yeah,
Gambino.
the lover.
But daddy, I love him. You know.
If that's real, if that's true, that was a snag. You pulled that one down.
Yeah.
And this doesn't say, so we might have to order a paternity test or something. But
That was the noise I made giving birth. That was like right on it. Don't you think?
pretty close.
Yeah, you do it. And I pushed for 3 hours. That was the sounds.
That's so fun.
And I remember, sorry, so off topic, Joe. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize to me. You edit this shit.
I remember it coming out of my mouth and literally being like, I want to laugh, because like I can't control it. This is what's just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in so much pain. I was so pissed the baby wasn't coming out for that long.
Yeah.
That it was like, if anyone effing laughs in this room, I will kill you. Like I was like, I remember just like looking around after I would make the noise.
Y'all try. Try me.
Did you and the nurse ever look at each other and laugh?
Marnie?
Marnie,
You think I don't remember who I was enduring that with?
Harder. Push harder. I was like, you say that one more freaking time.
The first time you let it out, like the way you let it out, it was like to the top of the range. And like the yodely part, was like long lasting. And like her and I holding your legs were like...
We're just gonna put the blanket up a little bit more so you can't see and kill us.
Like that sounded helpful. That sounded like baby's just sliding on out when you make that noise.
I wanted to die. I'm nervous to give birth again because I'm so scared
Don't worry about it.
that I'm gonna make that noise. And it's like, it's such a known thing now that if it did come out just a little peep, I would immediately, like, I don't know.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I think I would laugh even if I was in so much pain because
Maybe you can laugh.
Well, I would certainly
it's
laugh.
my birth noise.
I would have to take a seat at that point, and then you're going to be really pissed.
I'd be so pissed at you.
Okay, after he said, "Don't tell me to stuff my feelings," she says, "You don't have any right to discuss my virginity, my body, anything. That is me." He says, "When you're ready to talk to me as your father, then we will talk. Otherwise, don't text me no more." Like, Dad,
Me no more, girl.
what you finna mean though, brother? Okay, you can talk about me as a daughter, not as someone's sex toy.
Ew.
True.
She's laying it on thick. She's like, dude, I'm sick of this. This is not
That's gross
chill.
though.
But and I get why she feels like that, because the dad doesn't know her situation,
Yeah.
and he's talking to this person, offending her deeply, like assuming this person took her virginity. And she's like, dude, you don't know
And
anything
it's
about
not.
my life.
Yeah, it's not his to talk about.
Yeah.
at all.
no.
And even if it was a fact, even if it was
Yeah.
like, dude, you still have nothing to do with this. And Dad says, the reason why I'm saying that is because you're bringing fire instead of actually trying to understand my perspective. You can talk about me as a daughter, not as someone's sex toy. Then he says, the reason why I'm saying that is because you're bringing fire instead of actually trying to understand my perspective. Then his next text says, that's not what I was doing if you read my text. So he's defending himself. And then OOP says, you were telling my friend that you hated him in the moment because he stole my virginity. Forgive and forget and move on. He didn't steal my virginity. He didn't take my virginity. I didn't give him my virginity. Your perspective is wrong. These are all separate text messages. And then he says, these are my exact words, and this is the last time I will share with you what I am speaking to him in private. And she says, I don't care what the rest of your stuff, I don't care what the rest of your stuff you think. That part of you is very wrong. I am struggling to read the way she writes because she is struggling. Okay, OOP's dad attaches screenshots of his messages with the friend, transcribed below. Okay, so then the dad sends her screenshots.
Of what he said to David.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
So dad says this to David. Proverbs 28:13. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. New text. I hated you after you turned your back on my peace that I offered you at Disneyland. And I hated you even more when you took my daughter's virginity without committing to her. The Bible says that if I hate another, I have committed murder. And so I confessed to the Lord my sins, and he forgave me and encouraged me to love you. Even though you took something from me, that was one of the most important things that my daughter had and that I wanted her to give to her husband. You also did it under my nose, and I called you my son. I'm sorry that I hated you. I also called you a coward, but you're not a coward. I choose to believe that you were just afraid, and you were still afraid to make things right with me. There's a big difference between cowards and being afraid. I feel sorry for you, and your fear takes over and cripples you. You must, through Christ, overcome this giant because it has the... OP writes a note here that is all I'll show because it drones on. OP says, I don't need to see anything else. New text. He didn't take my virginity, so if you want to actually fully restore that relationship, make sure you don't accuse people of something they didn't do. Dad, then don't bother me if you don't care. Fine, I'll never speak to him again. I don't want you around me either because you bring drama into my life. I will not be responding anymore because you don't want to care about your mother and I, and all you care about is your own selfish ambitions. Goodbye.
Oh.
Then OOP says, I said I don't need to see anything else, meaning I just want to make sure I'm not being slandered. Accusing someone of taking my virginity is a big thing, Dad. In reply to Dad's last text, I do care, meaning I don't need to see the rest of the private conversation between you and him. Dad says, I mean it. Don't come around me and don't speak with me anymore. I'm done with you. You are partially to blame for the loss of my friend, meaning Daniel, in my life, and he is the other half of it. I don't want to see you or him, and I'm done being kind to your stupid ways. You can come back with me right now with fire, but just know that I don't care anymore, and that was the last straw.
He cares so much. That's why he's doing all of this.
It makes no sense.
He's in love with Daniel David. And
You can't disregard Dallas's theory.
So like,
He's no good.
I was thinking, like before you said that, okay, what if Daniel or David or whoever was the abuser and like the dad is truly trying to watch out and like that, but like now knowing that, it's like,
No, he's an
oh no,
that the daughter's virginity,
That's a good tip, though.
that you took something from me.
So did it just end with now the ties are cut? Because I feel like she's going to go back.
Yeah, so
That's going to keep fighting. No, I meant it.
Yeah.
I meant it. I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay, that's fine. No, I said I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
She's like, and
Okay,
she
yeah,
tried to,
of course.
She tried to clarify. She's like, Dad, I'm not saying like we need to be done or you need to keep sending me the messages. Like, I want this to be over. I just don't want you to slander me anymore.
Yeah.
And then he just is like,
It's like,
again,
no.
he's like, no, I
Don't
said I'm
even-
banishing you. And
Yeah,
you're
no, you cannot come
not
to the house anymore.
the princess of my small castle any longer.
Ugh.
So here's what one commenter said.
Okay.
You're responding way too much to this. Your father is disgusting, and the fact you have 10 pages of screenshots defending your virginity to him is too much.
Yeah.
And she replied and said, it was more so trying to defend my friend in the best way that I could think of. And at the time I was emotional. So yeah, I did respond way too much. I agree. I'm completely no contact now.
No, that poor girl that she's just getting bullied by some other commenter and she's like trying to.
But she did.
They're trying to say, I mean, because it's so much back and forth. And
Yeah.
The
somebody's
dad
like,
is not
how
going
do
to
you-
hear.
how do you not exit the insanity? How do you
Yeah.
not be like, okay.
But she was raised by insanity, so she's like trying to break out of that mold.
Oh,
but
poor girl.
she's probably got it in her too.
What would you say to her? Just say it right now.
I would say God is with her.
Oh. We may have missed some of the meat and potatoes, but we didn't. We got all the stuff that we
You
needed.
did great, babe.
all the potatoes.
We do need to go to the next story, though. Joe, great story, but now we're on to mine. That's even better. Don't worry. I can't wait. This is from our relationship advice. My mom lied to make me dislike my dad.
Ooh.
Yeah. Edit. Am I starting with edit?
It was actually my dad who lied to me to just
Psych. I'll just skip that.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. My F22 mom, F50, and dad, M52, divorced when I was young, and I stayed with my mom most of the time, but had regular, well-scheduled visitation with my dad, too. Custody always followed a plan, and they both knew when I was scheduled where, so did I. They shared long school holidays 50-50 and alternated the shorter holidays. I'm an adult now, and I've just found out through a mutual friend of theirs that a lot of what my mom told me about what happened between her and my dad was, in fact, BS. She would often discuss things in detail with me when I was growing up, and I always obviously believed her. My dad, on the other hand, didn't discuss issues with me, and in hindsight, he was clearly trying to protect me from the adult drama. For example, my dad worked away sometimes, and my mom would be invited out with her friends and would ask my dad to have me on a specific night while I was in her custody. He'd be away for work and tell her he couldn't, but she'd tell me dad has plans with his girlfriend and doesn't want me there. I wouldn't bring this up with my dad because I was hurt by it, and my mom would arrange a babysitter for me. He actually wasn't the asshole for not looking after me. She was for making plans with her friends. There's lots more, and I'm thinking the only way forward is to sit down and talk to my dad, getting his side of it all. That would give me more info, and yes, I know there's 3 sides to every story, but how do I deal with this as far as my mom is concerned? She blatantly lied and made out my dad was an idiot and didn't have a clue how to be a father, but I'm learning now just how much nonsense that was to make her look like an awesome mom to her friends and also the victim where her relationship with my dad was concerned.
That happens all the time.
Honest answer or not honest answer? Honest answer, too close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody who a situation like that has happened. And it wasn't until the person was in like their 30s that they finally reconnected with one of their parents to like get their side of the story of what happened after like becoming a teenager and like hearing all the past drama that like the one parent did and recognizing like all the lies that the one parent said. And it was like multiple marriages that happened too. How do you have conversation, like hard conversations, or like give perspective to your kids without being too overbearing or like, I don't know. It's hard to find that balance of like, I'm still the parent, but also like I can relate and I understand where you're coming from.
Totally.
I will say I grew up in a divorced family. My parents got divorced when I was 3 months old. And I was really grateful after hearing that story because that was not my experience whatsoever, in the sense that like my parents did not tell me anything about the other my whole growing up. Then all of a sudden I was an adult and I started asking like random questions and I would get their perspective on things and I would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that like, you know, that was a thing.
Yeah.
So like felt gratitude that that was not my situation, because especially before you have the perspective, the understanding, what do you do with any of that information?
I was going to ask, were you glad that you didn't know as a teen, as a like growing up?
Yes. I mean, and it's like, maybe it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you grow up thinking that your life and your family is perfect. And like, even as a kid, like I was a single or only child, single parent household, like I didn't foster any animosity towards the other parent, right? And like still had a good relationship with them. And who's to say what could have been different if they were like, you know, soiling the water on both sides or like trying to make me pick a side or any of that stuff. Like that was not something I had to deal with at all.
Yeah, that's really good.
It was good. And then I grew up and I learned things.
Yeah.
But all parents are not perfect humans, and I'm not a perfect human.
I'm pretty
But I'm
close.
married to a perfect human.
Yeah, thank you. I was like,
I was going to say.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
it.
No, Joe was following right behind.
That's one of probably the most prototypical stories about parents lying to kids. You know that happens in divorced households all the time. This one's good. If you guys like the first one.
Yes.
Is this steamier?
Is it longer, shorter?
Way shorter.
Deeper in detail?
You be the judge.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me.
Am I the brown starfish for not telling my kids about a massive inheritance for 15 years?
Whoa.
No, initial thoughts, no.
Throwaway because my son and daughter are absolutely furious. So some background. I grew up dirt poor. Not broke for a little while poor. I mean actual poor. Food stamps, eviction notices, heat getting shut off in the middle of winter. My mom did her best, but money was always a stressor, and it stuck with me. So when I became a dad, I swore that my kids would never feel that kind of insecurity. I worked in sales, didn't have a bad job, but it was commission-based, so nothing is ever guaranteed. I always had this nagging fear that one bad year or month or anything like that, and I would be screwed. So I lived frugally as hell. Clipped coupons, drove my car into the ground, always bought things on sale. My wife, who had a much more stable upbringing, used to joke that I was preparing for an apocalypse that wasn't coming. But to me, it really was just paranoia from having to be in survival all those years. Then when I was 38, my biological father died. Now, this man was a total stranger to me. He walked out before I was old enough to remember him. Never called, never sent a birthday card, nothing. I didn't even really think about him. Didn't even know if he was alive, honestly. So some lawyer ended up calling me and says that he left everything to me. I thought it was a scam. Turns out he never had any other kids, barely spent any of his money, and for some reason decided to drop it all in my lap.
Whoa.
And we're not talking a nice little inheritance. We're talking millions. Like life-changing, never have to work again kind of money.
Oh, where's that for us? Do you have a biological dad anywhere somewhere?
Yeah, I do. You've met him.
I meant like a second one.
Yeah, nope. I don't have one of those.
Bummer.
Only one biological dad.
Bummer.
That's just based on.
That sucks for you.
You think that would be a relief, right?
Yes, obviously.
That I'd feel secure for the first time in my life? No. If anything, it made me more paranoid. My whole life has been about saving, planning for worst case scenarios, cutting every unnecessary cost. That mindset doesn't just disappear overnight. So my wife and I sat down. We agreed first thing we'd pay off our mortgage and any other debt. Then we would set up a will and put everything in order so the kids would be taken care of eventually. And we just left the rest untouched. We figured we'd wait until I retired to do anything big like buying a place somewhere warm. But beyond that, we weren't going to start living differently, and we sure as hell were not going to tell our kids.
Whoa.
So, at the time, they were 12 and 15. They were good kids, but still just kids. I didn't want them growing up thinking they had a safety net so big that they'd never have to worry about money. I wanted them to work, to struggle a little bit, to learn how to budget and earn their own way in life. We figured we'd tell them when they were older, maybe 25 or 30, once they'd gotten some real world experience under their belts.
Whoa.
But then time just kept passing. So when my son turned 18, we thought maybe now's the time. But beyond that, we weren't going to start living differently, and we sure as hell aren't going to start we're not going to tell the kids. At the time, they were 12 and 15. Good kids, but still kids. I didn't want them growing up thinking they had a safety net so big that they'd never have to work or worry about money. I wanted them to work, to struggle a little bit, to learn how to budget and earn their way in life. When my son turned 18, we thought maybe now's the time. But he was heading off to college and we worried it might mess with his motivation. So we said, let's wait until after he graduates. Then our daughter hit 18, and by then we still hadn't told our son. So telling her first felt weird. So we said, we'll just wait a little longer. And before we knew it, 15 years had passed. I guess we just got comfortable with them not knowing. They worked minimum wage jobs, took out student loans, lived on a budget just like I had to. And in my mind, that was a good thing. They were learning responsibility. They weren't growing up entitled.
Oh, but the interest.
That's like, all I know is if I was OP, dude, there's no possible way I would let my kids take out student loans.
Yeah,
No way.
that's where I'm kind of drawing the line in my mind right now. But I want to keep hearing what happens.
So last month, my son, who is now 27, and his wife started looking into buying their first house. He was going over finances, trying to see what kind of loan he could get, and at some point he pulled my credit report to check if I could co-sign if needed. That's when he saw something weird, an account in my name with way too much money in it. He came to me confused, asking what it was, and like an idiot, I panicked. I tried to brush it off, told him it was an old investment account I forgot about, but he wasn't buying it. Started asking more questions. I kept fumbling, throwing out half-truths, hoping he would drop it. But my son's not dumb. He knows when I'm full of it. Next thing I know, he's pulling up public records, looking into my dad's estate, and putting the pieces together himself. At that point, I had no choice but to come clean. And of course, he told his sister right away.
Oh.
Now they're both livid. They feel like we straight up lied to them, like we let them struggle for no reason. My daughter is especially pissed because she skipped a study abroad program in college, thinking she couldn't afford it.
Oh.
My son says he might have taken a different career path if he knew he had a financial cushion. They keep throwing around words like betrayal and manipulation.
Oh.
And I get it, I really do, but I still believe we did the right thing. If they had known at 15 and 12 that they'd never have to worry about money, they would have made different choices. Maybe worse ones. Now my wife's feeling guilty, wondering if we should have told them years ago. I don't know. I still think we did what was best, but now my kids barely want to talk to me. Am I the asshole?
I take it back. Yeah, I think he is. I think they could have said something like, "Hey, you don't have to say, hey, we have millions in the bank for you," but like when your kid is going to college, say like if you need something, please let us know, or like we can help you figure out. And they don't even have to say where the money came from, but they can say, "Oh, hey, you wanted to go to that study abroad trip, like why don't you pay for half of it and we'll pay for half of it?"
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I feel like you could be more collaborative.
See, to me, that seems logical. That seems like the right thing to do.
I don't know. I like coming from like a poor family that like I didn't have any assistance when I started in college and anything, and I had to work in college. If he was as poor as he says he was all growing up and like had to budget and make things work, like kind of failed your kids by not teaching them better, like different routes than having to take out loans and things like that. I guess for me, like the attitude I've had is, if you ask your parents for money once, then you're just going to keep asking your parents for money. If you did it once and then you're not going to do it again, like I know for me, I'd be like, well, you did it this one time. Why aren't you willing to do it now? Like, why? I don't know. Cause.
And you see it's easier too. Like, hey, mom and dad, can I have this? Yeah. It's like, why wouldn't you go back and ask again? Yeah. You're taking like more of the easier route.
Yeah. Like.
And that's why I'm saying, you don't have to say you've got millions, but if you say like, hey, your grandfather left you some money that can help pay for college or help pay for,
like, I've met people that have had an inheritance and they're like, well, I'm going to keep it in there. And then like something comes up and they're like, oh, well, I've got the inheritance. I can just pull the money out and then I'll put more back in, and then they never do.
And also the fact that he was like, I would feel secure and safe. And like, no, with all that money, you're going to feel more insecure, more unsafe, unless you have therapy to like work through all of those feelings of like scarcity and like fear of what's going to happen next. So like, well, I feel like your childhood ruined that for your kids now.
I just can't relate. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because if I got a big lump sum like that, and my dad was very generous growing up, and he did fine, but it was just me and him. I definitely didn't have a scarcity mindset, but in adulthood have definitely had financial struggles. And so I relate to that feeling of like, frick, I can't spend a dime right now. But if I got a fatty sum of money, I'd be like, who wants to go on a golf trip? Like, who's like, let's go freaking have fun, especially my kids. Like, dude,
I would be pissed at my parents if I find out after they're dead that they've had it since I was 15, and I'm like, and like, it was mine.
I could have been living a much
different life. Yeah, I don't know. That would be hard, but I get the whole like him wanting them to work hard. That. And Daddy, if you're listening, and if you have money in an account for me that you're just waiting, now's the freaking time. Okay.
Call your freaking checking account. You just keep reloading it.
Dad, please Venmo me. That's a crazy story, but you're not ready for mine. This was posted off 2 hot takes. Mother-in-law lied to my husband about his bio dad his whole life, and now he doesn't want her around our child. So I, 21F, met my husband, 21M, almost a year and a half ago. We are getting ready to welcome our baby girl in June, but we are in a predicament. My husband, let's call him A, was told his entire childhood and up until this point that his bio dad signed over his rights almost as soon as he was born. Verbally abused his mom while she was pregnant and said, quote for quote, that he didn't claim him as his baby. It was something that has always bothered A. He hated his bio dad and said he would never reach out to him, but didn't understand why his bio father would do that to him. His stepdad wasn't a huge influence on him his entire life from what he said, and doesn't have a wonderful connection with him. When A met my dad, he clung to him and still does. It made me so sad seeing this because all A wanted was a father figure that he could connect with. I think the relationship he has built with my father and talking with me had given him some push to reach out to his dad, because my dad has 2 other kids he wasn't involved a whole lot with due to their mothers not wanting him around, and he worked in the pipeline, so he wasn't around a whole lot anyways. A talked to his mom about reaching out to his dad, and at first she said she would give him the documents she had from court and so on, but as time came closer and he pushed more, she started getting aggravated and condescending about it. Before she gave A any paperwork, she pulled me to a room alone and asked me very passive-aggressively why he needs to talk to him and what pushed him to this. She started crying and showing me paperwork saying how horrible I'm laughing. Saying how horrible he was, that she was not okay with him reaching out. This was kind of a red flag for me, but I just wanted to keep the peace in that moment. I explained everything when A and I had left their home. After that incident, he desperately wanted to reach out, and so he forced his mom to hand over the paperwork, and when he read all the letters and court documents, he sobbed for hours. He finally made contact with his bio dad. We'll call him B. We call him B. B wasn't anything that A expected, and B explained his side of the story. B didn't know about A until he was around 3, and the only reason why he was notified was because he was served with a paternity test, along with 3 other men. We looked at papers, and this checked out because paternity was established in 2005. A was born in 2002. His mom had went after B for child support and back child support. B was unprepared, but still paid and fought for custody for 3 years. Also, to give context, B lived 9 hours away. He would send A letters, emails, try to call, and even would try to visit, but his mom was the one who made it difficult. B didn't have a reliable car and only worked in an auto parts store. We looked into all of this and everything checked out. Even the letters were sent with an O'Reilly stamp. B sent A screenshots of their conversations with his mom, and he was civil, while his mother was very nasty towards him. This went on for 3 years before his mom's lawyer told him that he needs to just sign over his rights because all of these money was going towards rent and attorney fees. He said he regrets it and has never been able to get over it. He tried making contact with A up until 2016, then officially decided he would wait until A turned 18 and let A decide when he and if he ever wanted to try. B is almost exactly like A, and A grieves the father relationship he could have had. They are already planning to meet up and have lunch and share more documents about the situation. The real kicker, though, is that as mom impersonated him talking to B's mom, his bio grandma, she did that for months until grandma caught on and quit replying. The real kicker, though, is that as mom impersonated him talking to B's mom, his bio grandma, she did that for months until grandma caught on and quit replying. A has been in contact with his bio dad for 2 months now and won't go see his mom or talk to her. She doesn't know that he is in contact with his bio dad, and that's where we are stuck. He wants his bio dad to come down for the birth of our daughter. A's mom has approached me multiple times asking if he reached out. It's not my business to tell, so I always say no. But the last thing she said to me kind of stuck. She said he was very happy he never reached out and that he would never disrespect her like that. She even said she knows he respects her for even giving him the opportunity to reach out. Yikes. We both know his mom is going to spiral when she sees him. He doesn't know how to approach his mom about this, but refuses to not include his bio dad simply because his mom would be angry. He doesn't trust his mom anymore, and told he would prefer to stay low contact with her until further notice, even when our baby gets here. We also know there are always 2 sides to a story, but B's matches the timeline, and he has actual court documents, emails, and messages to back everything he has expressed. What do you guys think?
I've heard of stuff like that happening, and it is like, that's trauma.
Yeah.
That's so much trauma. Like being lied to about your parent that is not there to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
And he is constantly being lied to by, he got stuck with the worst parent.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
True.
she was a bad person. Like, had to have a paternity test or have 4 or 5 different guys take paternity tests to determine who the dad was. Yet she wanted to trash the dad to the son. It's like, did she even know who the dad was? When did she find out? You know?
But wanted child support, but didn't want him in the child's life. Oh.
Yeah.
And how it's so backwards. It's like, what are you even trying to accomplish? The dad wants to be in the child's life, reached out multiple times. The child only knows what she's saying. Like, that only gets the information from the mom who's batshit. She's got a first class ticket. Actually, a coach ticket.
Oh.
Definitely not first class.
I think that's maybe a little too good for her.
Yeah.
That's
In
pretty.
the cargo hold?
She's like, she's
No,
going in.
She
zone
is
D.
gonna be like hanging on the door as it's taken off, and then like falls off, and the shoelace is caught in it, and so she's just flapping in the wind.
I love that.
Dang, but is she taking a plane to hell?
Oh, like a jet?
Is she getting on a submarine?
I mean, it's Allegiant. Sorry.
Spirit.
Oh, plastic seats Allegiant. Have you guys ever ridden one of those?
No.
Flew from here to Billings 100 years ago. Not padded seats. They were plastic.
Oh,
And
baseball
Joe
seats.
didn't have a butt at the time.
I was like,
just
not
straight
done with
bone.
the story. She
Straight
interrupted
bone on
something
bone.
weird. What do I do with that? 2.5 hour flight.
Oh.
We get up to cruising altitude. Captain comes on. He's like, sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
The back lavatory is no longer operational. You're going to have to use the front lavatory. Everyone starts making a line to the front. Not 10 minutes later, ladies and gentlemen, the front lavatory has gone out. We have no place for you to use the restroom on this flight. There's only 2 hours remaining.
Make it work.
Do what you got to do. And it was the worst. It was so hot. It was so uncomfortable. And everyone was so irritable because everyone had to pee and poop and throw up.
Poop?
I just said it so you felt like you could chime in.
Poop.
Are there any updates?
No updates. Comments were kind of lame. Sorry, commenters. I wasn't impressed.
I want that one to be the fake because I hate that so much.
I think it is the fake.
I think it's not.
I think it couldn't be what it isn't.
Couldn't be what it is when it isn't. But it's not. Well, what do you guys think? Which one do you guys think's a fake? We had a few, so I don't know if you remember them all.
Joe. Final answer. D. I mean, the last one.
My story.
Yes.
Okay, what about you?
Your first story.
My first story, okay. Well, stay tuned for next week to hear if they're
Oh,
right.
can't wait to find out.
Don't you just freaking hate it, though, when your parents lie to you?
Yeah.
No.
Never happened.
No.
They're perfect.
If
I
they
love
did, I
it.
don't know yet.
I love it.
My mom.
You don't
Makes
have
me
to go to
spend
bed.
thousands in therapy. It makes me feel good.
You don't have to go to bed. We're going to go home and eat ice cream. What a great episode.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to try to wrap this up.
No, I just want to keep talking. We have all night.
It's just, is Posey okay?
I don't know. I got to check the cameras.
The lies our parents tell us. Go on our social media. Let us know which one you think is the fake. Comment on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, any of them. Leave us a rating on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Please, we love you. Thank you guys for listening. This one you're going to want to see on YouTube. If you're a podcaster, like, watch it again on YouTube, okay?
It's so fun. It's different and you'll like it.
And Wit caught a gummy in her mouth and it was next level.
Okay.
And then I replicated it and it was way sicker. Okay, thank you guys for the support. We love you so much.
Internet Friendsy on 3. 1, 2, 3. Internet Friendsy! Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Internet Friendsy, electric love so trendy. Bytes and bits we're blending. One click, no pretending.